Hi and welcome back to my channel. In this video we're going to be looking at then versus now. How have their feelings about you and the connection changed? So there are three groups to choose from. Group 1 is this Aventurine. Group 2 is the Rose Quartz. And group 3 is the orange Calcite. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to, I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps for each group in the description box of the video if you would like to jump ahead. Hi, Group 1. You chose the Aventurine. So I'm going to start with the energies of then. How were they previously feeling about you and the connection, the group 1. Okay, so we have Siren, a temptation may lead you astray. So this could be somebody that maybe felt that investing in this connection could potentially derail them from some other plans that they had for themselves, that direction in which they were headed. Maybe they were focused on accomplishing something as far as work or school is concerned, and they felt that the connection would just be a distraction from that, or that they didn't have the time, the energy, the resources to adequately invest in this connection, or in some way felt maybe the intensity or power of the bond between you was really kind of pulling away or operating as a distraction in terms of other things that they needed to focus on. They may have found themselves thinking about you a lot, really consumed in the energy of the connection, in these feelings, these sensations, the desire to see you, to be with you, maybe bordering on obsession, or just in some way entering into a realm that was a little uncomfortable for this person in the past, to where they felt that it could be to their detriment ultimately to continue to invest so much time and thought and energy into this connection. And we also have love, true love and fidelity. So it looks like they were definitely having loving feelings for you. This went beyond just kind of mere attraction and lust, but it was an intensity and a depth of feeling that perhaps really triggered this person as well. They could have had some kind of fears of commitment, heartbreak from the past that they hadn't necessarily worked through, but were still carrying with them. And so when this connection really sparked something, really awakened something within this person, these feelings of deep love and being very compelled to move in your direction, it could have also triggered some fears within them, kind of memories of past heartbreaks and not wanting to repeat those scenarios again. And we also have the moon. You will be guided through darkness. So this is really talking about this person maybe having this feeling that you were too good to be true, or that this connection was too good to be true, or that there was something that they just weren't seeing about this, that maybe this kind of you were in sort of they were feeling that they were in almost like a honeymoon phase with you, and these feelings of intense love and this draw towards you, there was almost this fear that would fade away in time, that maybe they'd experienced disappointments in love in the past where things started out very hot and heavy. The two people were very, interested in each other, very interested in working and building toward the connection, but that in some way it kind of led to this inevitable conclusion. Sort of those feelings cooled off, the interest sort of died away. In this card here, we also have Anubis, which is the Egyptian god of kind of the underworld and the passing of souls into the next realm. And so this can really speak to, again, this kind of fear that this person had of almost a fear of loss of love, this belief system that to love is ultimately to lose in the end. So some fear about maybe sacrificing their autonomy, or something else that they felt would need to be sacrificed or would come to an end. Again, maybe something to do with school or with work, something else that they were pursuing that they were really had planned for themselves and for their future. And so it was this kind of this fear that that this connection, to invest in this connection, would sort of starve something else that really was taking priority in their life. And so a choice then may have been made to kind of step back from this, to kind of retreat into that comfort zone, or rely more heavily upon that fear there. And we also, on this card here, we have Horus, and he is an Egyptian god of kind of protection and insight. And so this can really speak to some kind of an instinct that this person had also, that there was more to this connection than meets the eye. And it could have been something that they really, instead of making the choice to explore that and to really look at the positive aspects of that, the potential of what existed there, they may have taken kind of that vague energy and that sense of magnitude beyond what was apparent. They might have taken that to a very shadowy place and kind of feared the worst out of this connection, that what lie on the other side of kind of this building momentum between the two of you was a sense of loss, was a sense of something being taken from them, or something somehow them becoming trapped in a situation which they really could have feared that. This speaks to somebody who was kind of ignoring this intuition as well, that there was something of significance to this connection, kind of ignoring that inclination to move in the direction of this connection, in the direction of you, and instead made this choice to kind of rely on that ego self, that shadow, that sort of fear-based energy of, again, experiences of the past, heartbreaks of the past, and just kind of almost unfairly categorizing this connection along with other disappointments that they had experienced previously. So I'm going to get a little bit of tarot to clarify this for you. Group 1, what was this person previously feeling about you, about the connection? Okay, so we have the Nine of Swords. So this is definitely talking about somebody who is having some reoccurring thoughts, maybe flashbacks to some negative experiences that they had in romance in the past, and almost this fear of cycles repeating themselves, of experiences of the past really repeating themselves, and that in some way they were kind of associating what they were, these sensations almost, I feel, that were awakening or reawakening within this person. They may have kind of been through in a dormant stage in terms of love, or they had not really been focusing or prioritizing on love when they met you. And so to have this kind of stirring within their heart, this reactivation, almost this heart chakra activation, this coming back to life, it could have really triggered this person and scared this person into maybe the last time that they felt intense emotions for somebody, and sort of what that led to. And we also have the Ace of Pentacles, and in this deck it says the foundation of life. So this is really speaking to this fear of having to sacrifice, or maybe missing out on an opportunity, something they were trying to build in their material world here, that was something that really took priority, while they were recognizing that there was an intensity to this, that these feelings were very unique, something they may not have felt before or felt in a while for somebody. It did seem to, they almost felt that they were being asked to choose as well, choose between these goals, this path, this plan that they had set in place for themselves, that they were working toward, or to take a chance on this very unexpected, almost this energy of a wild card coming in. It feels like the collision of the two of you in each other's lives was very unanticipated, very unexpected, really caught this person off guard, was very alluring, and at the same time deeply triggering. And we also have the Ace of Cups. So again, speaking about, this love that they have for you, and this choice almost kind of here side by side with this Ace of Pentacles, kind of between the almost this energy of love or money that they were being called to choose between. And a choice was made to, again, focus on, it doesn't even necessarily need to be literally money or career oriented, but just even something in terms of the life that they'd established for themselves, a mindset that they had come to really embrace, a belief system about maybe not believing in love anymore, wanting to stay single, not wanting to commit to somebody, just not wanting to kind of fall into the snare of love once again, really just seeking to remain autonomous in their life, remain single and independent, be able to kind of dictate the course of their life without really having somebody else to consult or consider along the way. And then this love just kind of burst out of nowhere, came out of nowhere very unexpectedly, and really held this promise to this person of renewal, of experiencing something outside of that plan that they had established for themselves. But then a choice was made about take a chance, step into those emotional waters here, dive into the heart space, and open up to the potential of feeling both the bliss and the heartbreak that potentially could have ensued in this connection. And so it feels very fear-based that this person chose in the past to focus on what was comfortable, safe, and known to them. And we also have the Tower. So this really speaks to, again, sort of this fear of loss that this person may have had, something very powerful about the connection with you, about the energy that they were sensing. But in tandem with that was also this feeling that to give into this connection, give into this love, this energy, could really come at a great expense to them. It could be something that would really turn their world upside down. And this person may have been focusing on kind of the worst case scenario that could have ensued, again, maybe triggered from heartbreaks or disappointments in love in the past. And so a choice was made to maybe move away from this connection, kind of push this away, and just sort of categorize this as just another potential disappointment in love, in keeping with other experiences that they'd had in love in the past. So real quick, in terms of some signs here, with swords we have air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. With pentacles, that's earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. Cups is water, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. And the Tower is Aries. So now we're going to take a look at the energy of now. How has this person's feelings changed for you, about the connection, if at all? Are they still kind of in this this mind space of skepticism and fear? Have they kind of transcended that? Let's take a look. Group 1. Okay, so we have Didiri, hearing truth. So this is really talking about some clarity that has come to this person, maybe some illusions that they have been made aware of, something about a tendency perhaps of this person to operate out of a space of fear, fearing the worst, really clinging to some wounds of the past, which has caused a lot of turmoil within this person. They've really been called in their life to cultivate inner peace. They've really been on this path of seeking peace, maybe as much as they might have tried to kind of avoid the shakeup or some chaos that they had anticipated might have stemmed from this relationship. It seems that change might have inevitably come to their life anyway, in a different form, with this energy of the Tower here. And it's something which has really propelled this person, this butterfly, on this transformational path in general in their life. And just as kind of an offshoot of that, they've really, they're moving into this space of really deciphering their intuition, listening to that intuition that in the past they may have ignored, that greater perspective, that maybe what they were fearing out of this connection, this fear of kind of wounding, that instead this connection offers them a place of sanctuary. It offers them a refuge from experiences in the past, disappointments in the past in love. And so this is definitely the energy of somebody who is, they're starting to recognize something. Almost something is rising up out of the subconscious of this person where, again, this skepticism or really fighting or trying to push this connection away. There's a space of peace that is kind of emerging from within them where they are recognizing their fears. They are maybe in other ways in their life actively engaged in facing their fears, transcending those fears. And so other examples of fear-based action, fear-based mentality are then coming up for this person. They're coming up for them to really take a look at and assess and analyze. And among other things that may be kind of creeping up from the subconscious, sort of choices that were made in the past that were made from a place of fear, kind of motivated by that, a fear of loss. This connection is also kind of starting to come to the surface of this person's awareness again, where they chose a path for themselves that it seemed right at the time, but it was very limiting within that comfort zone. And it's something to where they're starting to have this shift in perspective of kind of the other side of that coin. If a different choice had been made, this sense of that they might be in a more peaceful place, less conflicted within themselves. Definitely some energy of regret here over operating out of that kind of fear-based mentality. And there's something where, you know, this person is starting to really shift that to maybe really be able to separate experiences of the past, heartbreaks of the past, something that they have healed or are starting to heal about that is then helping them to be able to view this connection and view you with a lens of possibility instead of this kind of potential disaster that they may have previously sort of categorized things as. And we also have Lena, what must be shall be. So there's a sense within this person that the story is not over between the both of you. There's this desire to perhaps start again, to make a different choice. We also have here in this card the moon, these different phases of the moon. So this speaks to some cycles that this person has broken out of, that they've discontinued. With this skull here, this is definitely, you know, the energy of death, of endings, but then kind of encompassed within that is this energy of renewal. Of rebirth, of a new beginning. So something has really come to an end in this person. Maybe things in their life have come to an end, goals even that they had chosen to pursue or focus on. They've reached those milestones and they're starting to get that wider perspective of maybe some things that they had overlooked or that they had misjudged, maybe the connection or you as something which would kind of hinder them or hold them back. And they're recognizing that they had kind of deprived themselves of this opportunity for life and experiencing more of a life of peace and harmony and love. And there is this sense of almost mourning, of missing the opportunity, missing what was, kind of a dormancy that you may find yourselves in now, this ending that has occurred. But encompassed in that is kind of this looking to the future, kind of moving beyond this cycle, moving beyond past ideas or mindsets or viewpoints, ways that they had viewed the connection. And there's this desire to see what can come out of that, what can rise out of those ashes. And we also have Padma Sundari, out of darkness, light is born. So that really ties into that energy of this person moving out of a fear-based mentality and kind of this energy of light and enlightenment and knowledge and wanting to act from a place of the higher self, a place of trust, step more into possibilities as opposed to focusing on the potential of what could go wrong. This card also really speaks to this potential of rebirth with these lotus flowers here and, you know, really rising out of some adversity, some darkness, heavy experiences of the past, and this desire that they have to perhaps invest some more in this connection, open their heart up to this connection where in the past they may have run from love or closed themselves off, and to try and infuse that very loving energy into the seed of potential that existed between you at one point in time to see what if anything can grow out of that. This seems like somebody that has kind of overcome or is overcoming a lot of adversity, clearing out a lot of patterns within themselves, belief systems in general that also are kind of reflecting on the actions that they took or did not take in this connection in the past. So I'm going to get some tarot to get a little more clarification about this for you. Group 1. How have this person's feelings about you and the connection changed? What are they thinking now, feeling now? Okay, so we have the Lovers. So this definitely speaks to a desire for closeness, a desire for renewal. Somebody who may have been running or trying to push away this connection, push away this being very compelled, very magnetized to you. And this is somebody who has really changed direction. They have changed their mind. They are starting to value and prioritize love. That energy was coming up of maybe having to choose between love and money, and having made the choice toward money, toward the practical, toward mundane, toward that comfort zone, what was predictable, known, and more within this person's control. And it feels that a shift has taken place where they're starting to prioritize love. They're starting to recognize that as a treasure that exceeds any kind of measurable value. And so something is really coming to the forefront of this person's awareness also. This deep compatibility that they feel with you, this deep kinship that they feel with you, kind of the intensity of that connection that previously may have really triggered this person or scared this person, very much overwhelming this person and causing them to retreat into that comfort zone and that kind of cloak of fear that they were comfortable with, that was very known to them. This is the energy of somebody who is really breaking free, who is really desiring this rebirth and kind of stepping out into unknown territory. And we've also got the Two of Pentacles, so more energy of balance, really seeing things from another perspective. Really, some awareness is coming to this person. In this card here, we've got this this plant with the roots, these subterranean roots, and then above ground has blossomed these flowers. So something really having come up from the subconscious of this person, them becoming aware maybe of how they were operating in this kind of shadowy fear-based mentality, really constricting themselves in what was possible. Running from, a bright possibility, a world of potential, a world of sweetness, just kind of out of fear of this unknown. And it's something to where, they're really starting to look at that, how they had run from love, or something that they may have really been wishing and hoping for deep down inside. And when that arrived for them, they were almost overwhelmed or scared, or chose to kind of push that away. I'm getting kind of the saying of looking a gift horse in the mouth with this, to where it's everything they were looking for, kind of this compatibility, this very kindred, this like soulmate energy here, the two of you fitting very well together, and this person just being very trapped in experiences of the past or fears of the past, to where they were not able to recognize that sort of the answer to their prayers had arrived, or this energy of hope and renewal, the potential to build new experiences, to understand and experience love in a new level, kind of this very elevated sense from what they might have previously endured in romantic connections. And we also have the Star, so definitely a card of hope and renewal, and speaking to this person's hope that the situation between you can be changed, that kind of this ending that has taken place that this person may have really instigated, that it's not the end forever. Kind of this energy of the dawning of a new beginning between the both of you. Sort of this darkness, maybe even a dark night of the soul that this person has been in. We had that energy of the Tower, and a lot of things might have crumbled for this person. They might have really been in this period of introspection, a lot of loss, a lot of things falling away, that as much as they may have tried to avoid loss and hurt and disappointment, it sort of found them anyway, and it has really given them this perspective to really transform and to change their opinions of themselves, of life in general, what they've been prioritizing, what they've been focusing on. And part of that is also really this transformation of the perception of you in this connection, as well as a transformation in what they want out of this, what they want out of love, and what they hope can happen in the future between the both of you. And we also have the Emperor. So this speaks to somebody who wants to really kind of step into the power of this connection, really invest in this. Somebody who is seeing this connection as very empowering, a source of strength and stability for them. This is somebody who is really facing their fears and acting courageously. This can also be a card of action. So this can speak about somebody who maybe made a choice to kind of retreat or to move away from this connection, who is now in a state of wanting to strategize and plan movement forward, to really seize upon the opportunity that this connection presents to them for renewal. Somebody who is no longer choosing to operate from a space of fear, but is instead taking back their power as well, maybe from heartbreaks of the past, kind of these cycles that they have been in that have really served to limit them or kind of push away blessings that may have been offered by the universe through this connection, through other aspects and areas of their life. And all of this is really being called to this person's attention. to kind of break out of that, choose a different way of being, move forward with confidence and with knowing, and to really step into that higher and more empowered version of self within their own life, and then also within this connection. So in terms of signs with the lovers, we have Gemini. Pentacles is Earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. The star is Aquarius, and the Emperor is Aries. So I'm going to get a few messages from this person's higher self for you, group 1. What do they want to say? Okay, and they say, I daydream about you often. So you are definitely on this person's mind. A lot is coming clear to them, coming to the surface, feelings that they may have repressed, denied, or kind of run from in the past. And they also say, it took me a long time, but I'm starting not to care about what others think anymore. So this speaks to that shift taking place within this person. Maybe a fear of love, a fear of what others might think about this relationship. Maybe that was a motivation for kind of moving away or pushing this connection away in the past, was almost this fear of being judged. Maybe there are things that are very dissimilar about the both of you, or something that, you know, they just were feeling really that they might be kind of ridiculed or judged about, but they're really kind of in this process of moving through that, acting from the heart space, following the call of their heart. And they also say, people are starting to notice that I am not my normal self. So this can speak to those changes occurring within this person, changes within their life, and also some subterranean changes that are happening in their psyche, in their perception, in what they want for themselves, what they are valuing, the priorities that they once may have really placed a lot of importance upon. These things are no longer resonating with them. Kind of this pursuit of status, success, money, accolades. It may not be so fulfilling to this person. They may have accomplished some things, but are acutely feeling this void within themselves, this void of love that they're now at this place of really wanting to fill, to explore, to experience. And they also say, you're the only person I ever felt comfortable enough to just be myself with. So this could have been something that really triggered this person as well, this vulnerability, kind of opening up to the deeper layers of themselves where they had been kind of harboring some hurts and disappointments of the past. And so the intensity of this connection, feeling very compelled to just give in to this. It may have almost felt like these little alarm bells going off within this person, very ego-based and shadowy thinking that to let someone in is to kind of expose themselves, expose their vulnerabilities and their weaknesses. And it's something that it could have taken this person a lot of time to really rebuild themselves, or to get to a place of stability after some kind of a disappointment in the past. And so risking opening that door again to love, opening the door to their heart, was something at the time that was very, very triggering and very frightening to this person. So let's see, what else do they have to say? Group 1. Okay, and they say, I'm done running from this connection. So that confirms this kind of shift in perspective, kind of exiting that comfort zone, expanding into new horizons, this energy of rebirth and renewal, this desire to maybe start again or invest in this connection in a way in the past that they were unwilling or unable to do. And they also say, I know you've been right. I'm trying to forgive myself. So this person is really having a lot of regret for missed opportunities, kind of the unnecessary delay or pain or confusion that was caused by operating from a very shadowy energy before. And they also say, I'm not used to a connection like this, so I run. So that confirms the intensity of the energy, this very magnetizing bond that they experience with you, being very compelled in your direction, but also very triggered to kind of move in the opposite direction, to kind of run from those fears, run from what is being mirrored to them in terms of wounds that need to be healed and released. And they also say, I regret walking away from you. So another confirmation of that, really kind of wanting to renew and wanting to see if there's the potential to rebuild in this connection, not really feeling satisfied about a decision that may have been made to operate from that place of fear, feeling very self-defeated, really needing to work through some issues where they have self-sabotage, not just in terms of this connection, but in other areas in their life in the past, that all of this is really starting to come to the forefront for this person. Kind of blessings that had presented themselves that this person had chosen to kind of move away from or had been very skeptical of. And so through this process of really coming to see that shadow, to face that shadow, part of that is needing to move through that regret and to enter into that space of action, of really formulating a plan, putting themselves out there to try and infuse some of that energy of awareness and realization into the bond that still exists between the both of you, to hopefully rebirth or resurrect something that in the past, maybe it was almost this energy of kind of like a false start. It never really got off the ground. A lot of tangible chemistry, but not a lot of deep experience or the deep layers, the potential of what could have been possible between the both of you explored. So I'm going to get a little bit of guidance for you, Group 1, about this situation. Okay, and we have daydream. You will more easily hear and receive our messages if you daydream regularly. Relax and open your mind to receiving without directing your thoughts. Just notice any feelings, visions, or ideas as if you were watching a movie. This is the seat of creativity. So that really ties in with what was coming through from this person's higher self about daydreaming about you. And so this is really guidance to perhaps connect with this person on the 5D through meditation. Really also kind of this energy of sort of the law of attraction, you know, really becoming clear and firm with what you want out of love, out of, you know, an experience with this person, this connection, but more so just overall love in general, and really seeking to become that which you wish to receive, you know, operating from that space of fearlessness, facing these fears, expecting great things for yourself, and moving into this space of, you know, being open to receive those blessings and those gifts in the package in which they come in, the time in which they come in. You're strongly being guided as well to have hope for this, have hope that this person will, you know, be able to continue to move through this fear, that, you know, awareness is almost this first step in this battle to kind of breaking out of some cycles or some patterns and creating different results in their life and for the both of you in this connection. So it's always a good idea to, you know, continue to move forward, focus on yourself, make yourself a priority, you know, never put your life on hold in the energy of waiting for another person, because that can, you know, it just deprives you of the opportunity to experience bliss, experience gifts that the universe has for you, and it kind of slows down your progress on your own personal path of development and experience in this lifetime. But you can always, as you're moving forward, keep a space for this person within your heart, kind of keep the door open a crack for them for when they are ready and able to kind of move towards you. This feels very much like the energy and kind of this guidance as well to, again, really kind of formulate and get very clear about what it is you want to experience in your life, in love, in other areas, and to continue to focus on that, to continue to vibrate at your most authentic frequency. And this can continue, you know, just sort of holding this light within yourself, holding this very authentic space, working through fears, you know, seeking to really better yourself in a variety of ways, facing the shadows that come up for you and moving through those. Energetically, that can really signal this person and encourage them to continue to do the same, to continue on this path of progress to really self-awareness and transcending obstacles that are standing in the way from where they are and where they want to be. So I'm going to get these Archangel Michael cards for you, Group 1, for a little more guidance about this situation. Okay, and we have new beginnings and a fresh start. Thank you for bringing new opportunities and offering support, and for helping me release and heal my past. Fill me with trust as I experience these life changes. So that is a beautiful closing message for you, Group 1, and this just confirms that energy of renewal and moving through fears, kind of letting go of disappointments of the past, disappointments in this connection, not being where you would like to be with this person, or maybe, you know, kind of wishing that they would be further along in their journey, that they would almost hurry up and make some kind of change in this situation. You know, if they've got this awareness that it has come to the forefront, and any kind of confusion that you might have as far as why their actions are not aligning with this awareness. You know, everyone's kind of has free will, and they're on their own timeline. They've got, you know, different layers to move through, and that's why it's also a good idea to continue to focus on your horizon, the things that you can control in your life. Other areas of who you are in your experience that you would like to cultivate, new beginnings, maybe some new endeavors, new experiences or adventures that you would like to really bring in and manifest and foster for yourself, that you're really being guided to focus on these things. And as you continue to embody that energy of renewal and hope and optimism, it can again serve as kind of an energetic template for this person through their own process and in their own kind of timeline, and in divine timing to make the changes necessary to step beyond the fear, shed those layers from themselves, and to really embody and harness this kind of new energy of confidence and assurance, and taking definitive action toward goals that they have. This seems like somebody who has, in other areas of their life, very much been operating in that energy, and so now they are tasked with, you know, taking that same level of assertiveness and applying that to the heart space and to love. So I'm going to get some initials for you now. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it can spell something out, just whatever resonates. Okay, so we have X, N, F, H, W, Z, I, G, and K. So those are your messages, Group 1. I hope they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the video. If you like the reading, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 2. You chose the rose quartz. So we'll start with the energy of Ben. How was this person previously feeling about you in the connection? How did they used to feel about you in the connection for group 2? Okay, so we have the King, authority and diplomacy. So this person may have felt previously that something about their autonomy or independence was threatened by this connection. There could have been some conflict that occurred between the both of you, kind of a struggle to get to this point of a meeting of the minds in terms of what you both wanted or expected out of love and this connection. In some way, maybe some control issues within this person may have been triggered at one point in time by you, by the connection, something with that. And we also have the Spirit, unseen forces watch over you. So this really is tying in for me with this person may be feeling very judged by you, by something within this connection, really held to this this standard almost unconsciously to kind of rise beyond their comfort zones, to transcend some very limited thinking, some kind of lifestyle that was really hindering them in terms of achieving and experiencing their best life, and kind of this person wanting to cling on to sort of running the show in their life, somebody who may have been really kind of resistance to the urge and the nudge that Spirit was really giving them to kind of leave some things behind, to go through some kind of a maturation, some kind of a transformation or a metamorphosis. A sense of, even if you had not directly, judged this person or criticized this person, something about the vibration that you were holding really triggered this person. And they may have felt that maybe they weren't good enough. So feelings of inadequacy may have really come up for this person that caused them to sort of lash out or sort of push this connection away, again, wanting to stay within that comfort zone, to feel that they are in charge, that they're in control. Even if this isn't directly related to you, just almost this resistance of really answering the call that Spirit was giving to them, this call to transcend, to mature, to kind of rise beyond some circumstances or maybe even outdated belief systems or kind of patterns. And we also have the Gate, a barrier keeps you from your goal. So this can speak to somebody who really shut this connection out, blocked this off, again, refused to answer that call of the soul, refused to answer this call to transcend some limitations within themselves. Somebody who really could have viewed this connection and you in the past as kind of an obstacle or barrier to where they felt that their life should be headed. You may have come in as very unexpected energy, or were really, calling them to, again, sort of step into this best version of self, which required them to kind of leave some things behind that they had been focusing on or involving themselves with, or even just kind of a mentality, sort of this energy of playing small with their life, staying within a very predictable and almost surface level comfort zone where, they're kind of, they're the king of the hill, they're the one in charge, they're the one calling all the shots in their life. And so kind of this urge to free themselves, to operate with more of a free spirit, to free themselves from the shackles of kind of this lifestyle that they had built for themselves, which was almost in a way not living up to their full potential in a lot of ways, not really seizing the potential of maybe some areas of soul growth. This person could have been very resistant to that, very resistant to ascension and to evolution and to kind of experiencing and becoming something more than what they had sort of predetermined for themselves as what they were going to do and accomplish in this life. This feels like the energy of almost like outside forces stepping in, their spirit guides, angels. This person may be getting a lot of signs, a lot of synchronicities, but being very closed off to that, ignoring these things, pushing them away, being very resistant or very skeptical to that. So let me get some tarot to get some clarification for you, group, to the energy this person was previously in about you and the connection. Okay, so we have the 8 of Wands. So this is talking, I'm really drawn to this imagery on this card here. And this person very much maybe consumed with sort of a lifestyle of frivolity and just having a good time. Really sort of, just trying to make the most of maybe a party lifestyle, a good time, gatherings, not really concerned with kind of focusing on celebration only, as opposed to, and maybe avoiding some kind of harsh lessons, some hard work, some evolution that needed to take place. Somebody who was only seeking to really enjoy good times in their life, and maybe almost pushing away or ignoring kind of this impetus for growth, for expansion, and expansion of awareness, and expansion of experience that was really being called forth for them through this connection, even just energetically. And we also have the 10 of Cups, happiness. So this really talks about, this feeling this very intense energy, this very intense emotion for you, being compelled to kind of dive within themselves to get to the root of some blockages and barriers in order to kind of unfurl these deeper layers of happiness within them. But in some way, this person was feeling very overwhelmed by that, almost the potential of what existed in this connection, these signs, these nudges that they were being given to kind of move in the direction of a deeper fulfillment outside of just kind of the material world, but almost this the potential of emotional fulfillment. It was something that felt very overwhelming, very relentless to this person, that there was almost no escaping that. And so it's something that, this person could have also really been triggered and felt that they may be being called to sort of drown in their emotions, to explore these emotional waters, this fear of becoming very overwhelmed, kind of losing control, losing power, losing sight of what they had previously deemed to be very important to them as well. And we've got the 4 of Cups, boredom. So this can speak to kind of this discontent that this person was feeling, sort of the deep work that was being called upon for this person to really engage in, kind of rising beyond their comfort zone, dealing with some maybe heavy emotions. It was work that they were very apathetic about, not really interested in investing in that, not really interested in expanding in a spiritual sense. Somebody who, again, with this kind of this imagery of this fire and this celebration, somebody who just really wanted to focus on the good times, somebody who really kind of was shying away from intensity, intense emotional connections, intense vulnerability. And in the past, it's something to where there could have also been a fear that to sort of give up this position, to surrender to this, to open up to this transformation. It was almost a sense of not feeling that it would be very lasting, that they would just open themselves up to loss in some capacity, that by maybe expressing this vulnerability, opening themselves up, working beyond some difficulties and some issues within themselves, that this is something which in the end would almost cause them to lose a piece of themselves, some deep and heavy emotions that this person may have also really been holding within, some deep wounds that needed to kind of be healed. And there was a sense also of fear within this person that to tap into these things, to acknowledge these things, that they're almost wounds that if they were acknowledged, then there would be no end to how much they would that they would bleed into this person's life. And so almost this fear of the intensity of things that had kind of been stuffed down and held beneath the surface, while this person then chose to sort of focus on more lighthearted matters, on situations that were definitely, more kind of surface level, or sort of emphasized kind of the good times, the happy times, kind of distracting themselves from sort of those deeper levels of their core and their psyche. And we also have the Knight of Wands. So this can speak to a lot of passion, a lot of intensity, but also almost this energy of like a Casanova, somebody who again was really interested mainly in just kind of physical chemistry, on heavy passionate relationships, but not really seeking to avoid any kind of deep emotional intimacy, maybe focusing on things more of the surface for that level. With this imagery of the fox here, this also speaks to somebody who kind of had a fear of deception, of being deceived, maybe operating in an energy of deception, kind of creating this lifestyle of frivolity to mask some deep wounding. Kind of this look on this fox's face is almost like a forced smile, like a fake smile, like this person really was had created this facade for themselves, almost like a party boy or a party girl lifestyle, and just had really presented that this was the life that they wanted. This is something that they were very content with. This was their choice. They wanted nothing more than this. But a lot of that, that very kind of forced exterior, that forced mask was really hiding a lot of pain within themselves, things that they were seeking to avoid, change and transformation that they were seeking to avoid, that was definitely triggered or mirrored for this person through this connection. Maybe some things, ways in which you were emotionally vulnerable, or kind of a healing journey in which you were embarking on, or things that you may have discussed or been open about with this person. It may have rung a little too close to home and really triggered them to kind of close off, to push this away, to kind of be very skeptical and very judging of this connection, for kind of that invitation that was then presented to them to kind of get into that same sort of habit within themselves, or that same process within themselves of kind of uncovering and transcending some limiting behaviors or experiences of the past. So now I'm going to take a look at how have their feelings for you in the connection changed, or their thoughts, if at all, or are they still operating in the same energy of very skeptical and kind of just trying to focus on surface things, on good times, on maybe sort of shallow and superficial relationships, on really holding their power as opposed to opening the floodgates to the opportunity for some deep healing? How is that? Has it changed? Is it the same for group 2? Oh, and I'm sorry, real quick, and before I get into this, in terms of signs for this tarot section here, for the wands, we have fire energy, which is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, and the cups is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. So now I'm going to take a look at the energy of now. Okay, so we have honor the ancient king. So this is really tying in also with that energy of the king that came up here in this first section. This is reminding me of Leo energy as well, with that image of the lion, and I'm feeling almost like the sun in tarot, this very empowered and powerful energy. This is somebody who is also maybe in this process of recognizing that through vulnerability is power. With the moon here, there's some cycles within themselves that are coming to a close in this person's life, some awareness that they are being, that's being brought to the forefront. It could be something that, with this kind of this activity happening up here and sort of the higher self level of this person, change is occurring, but they may still very much be fixated and focused on what held importance to them previously when you were dealing with them. So there's sort of kind of just initially this sense of change taking place beneath the surface. Things starting to kind of come to this person's awareness, but they may still be in this kind of this state or this situation of really trying to just remain focused on things that are simpler, that are kind of more surface level, really trying to hold into that power, into that very stern stance that they have. Almost this energy of kind of resistance to softening, to opening up to those layers of self. And we also have rare intersection of heaven and earth. So this can speak to somebody who is at a crossroads and ties in really well with this imagery of things kind of happening at the higher self level, kind of behind the scenes for this person. As much as they may still be in this energy of resistance, signs are continuing to come in for this person. Though they have chosen not to answer the call, in this image here, this person's kind of side-eyeing almost the activity that's happening over here. So they are very much aware of this. They are very much aware that as much as they have tried to ignore it, tried to remain uninterested, to not actively engage in kind of this, the connection, or I'm really feeling like the deeper kind of layers of transcendence that this connection is sparking within them, the things that are being triggered. They may be really kind of presenting this facade of being very disinterested, very oblivious, very, just satisfied with where they are, but they're giving this a second look. They're giving it some consideration. They are taking note of these things. They are taking note of this path, this landscape that is available to them. They're at this point of being asked to choose, to continue to remain the same, or to explore new layers of what is possible within themselves and within this connection. And we also have no good thing shall be withheld. So this also speaks to this energy of relentlessness, that these signs will continue to come in for this person. This person may also, with this image here of kind of this older person, they may be kind of getting some guidance from some passed on loved ones, from some ancestors. We've got the owl here, and that's speaking of wisdom, and also spirit animals, and just input coming in from all these different aspects of this to this person, where they're really being called. There's also this disconnect here between kind of the 3D self and the higher self, and they're really being called to bridge that gap, to transform that, to create some kind of unity in that. This figure here is kind of turned away from the viewer, so that again speaks to somebody who is sort of blocked off to this potential, trying to ignore this, ignore the feeling, the sensation, the call that they are getting that comes in nonetheless, that all these kind of outside forces, this person's higher self, their ancestors, their passed on loved ones, spirit animals, source, if you resonate as a star seed, this can even be kind of downloads that are coming in, or messages that are coming in from even this person's galactic collective, just kind of all hands on deck here to really awaken this person, to get them to kind of course correct, to turn around, to shift directions. And it's something that, it's relentless. It's even perhaps picking up momentum. It's a process of kind of the call will continue, that it cannot be ignored forever. There's almost this image that is coming through of somebody who is in bed and is asleep, and the alarm goes off, and they keep hitting that snooze button, and the alarm continues to go off, and they can hit that snooze button all day if they like, and it will continue to alert them, to make them aware that it's time to get up, to awaken, to do something different, to create some kind of change in the atmosphere, change in the activity, to take more of an action-based role in experiencing something outside of this kind of comfort zone, and this very, almost this energy of hibernation, or kind of avoiding maybe some tasks and responsibilities that they are being called to accomplish in this lifetime. So it feels very much that this person is still kind of in the same energy of, just kind of wanting to ignore this, push this connection away, not really answer the call, that's being provided to them. This could be somebody who, is just very triggered by this and is just sort of dismissing it as incompatibility between the both of you, as opposed to recognizing that there's something being mirrored here, that kind of the both of you operate to trigger things, wounds within each other that are this call to really ascend and to transcend kind of these limitations within self. And so it feels like somebody who's still, again, stuck in that, but there's a lot happening in sort of the more subtle realms to get this person to be aware. They could be getting a lot of signs about you as well, a lot of reminders about you. This is definitely somebody that, as much as they are trying to push this away and ignore this, they can't get you out of their mind. So they may be making extra efforts to distract themselves, to remain very unbothered, unaffected, or to at least present that exterior. And sort of the more effort that they put into that is an indication that the intensity and frequency of these reminders and these signs and this call, even from their higher self, from your higher self, to get up, to change, to awaken, that they've kind of slept or played small with their life for long enough that there's so much more to be experienced. There's a mission or a goal in this lifetime, and sort of time is ticking. They need to take an active role. Things need to change and shift, that the time is now for that. So I'm going to get some tarot for this, clarifying this aspect for you, group 2, about this person's thoughts and feelings about you in the connection now. Okay, so we have that 8 of Wands energy again. And in this sense, it's definitely this communication, these messages coming in from this person's higher self, from this person's spirit guides. They could be seeing angel numbers a lot, seeing your name a lot, just different things that are reminding them, that are just being very persistent. These things, these signs, this energy, it just keeps coming in. It keeps coming in, as much as this person tries to ignore it, ignore the call, ignore the kind of the call to action, ignore that information that's coming into them by, just focusing on this kind of frivolity, or, and just living a very carefree lifestyle. That it's something where, they are recognizing this, they are seeing that, and it's almost compelling them or triggering them to cling all the more strongly to what it is that they have prioritized at this point in time. And we also have the 8 of Cups. So in this card, I'm really drawn to this, this person sort of turned away, and this confirms that, this person is still really, they're not completely turned back away from this. They're open to it. They're feeling, they're experiencing the sensation, the connection even between the both of you, the energetic connection. They're feeling you from a higher self level. They're feeling your energy around them even, but they're trying to ignore this. They're trying to look away. They can't escape that sensation on an energetic level. They can't escape these signs, these indications, these things that are kind of coming up from the subconscious, these wounds within them, these cycles and patterns that are being called to come to an end or to break away from. Their body and their energetic body, the layers of themselves are experiencing these things, and it's almost like the logical mind is just trying to put on blinders, trying to look away, to ignore that. But sort of in the deeper layers, kind of in the what's hidden behind the veil of this person's exterior, they're very much aware of this connection, aware of what they're being called to do. And this definitely feels like somebody who, also at this crossroads, they're on this brink of kind of acknowledging this, of turning to face this. There's very much a potential that they can't continue to kind of look away and ignore this forever, that at a certain point they're going to have to acknowledge it, because it will continue. These signs and these indicators will continue until they do something about it. It takes a lot more effort to kind of push it away than it does to sort of surrender and explore. And we also have the King of Swords. So this can speak to somebody who is, just very kind of blunt, direct, kind of very logically minded, not operating from the heart space currently, just trying to kind of cast away thoughts that are coming. Somebody who is, just really trying to not operate in the heart space, operate from the mind. Again, this person looking away. So more of that confirmation of this, this person experiencing this, but almost feeling that they need to be on the offensive or defensive with this, kind of trying to swat away or cut away at these inclinations, these signs that they're getting. Very actively engaged, exerting a lot of energy in ignoring this. And we also have the Four of Swords. So this can speak to, this dormancy, something also that's taking place, this germination that is taking place, kind of this input coming down from the higher realms, from the energetic realms, these signs and reminders. And it's something to where, this is kind of a prelude to this person. They're turned away, but in some fashion, they're starting to acknowledge this. They're starting to see that there might be something here. They're starting to really become curious about, what are they running from? What does all this mean? If it's just kind of, generic signs in terms of ascension that are coming in, there's a curiosity that is being sparked, or that this person is on the brink of really just kind of like with this image of side-eyeing, just kind of peeking over at it, taking a glance, taking a look, exploring this a little more. This feels almost like a softening that could be occurring as well, almost this energy of surrender that with the Four of Swords, as they're in this pause, kind of being very shut off, not taking action, not acknowledging their feelings, not acknowledging the connection, the bond that they feel with you. That all of this it's just kind of this quiet, this silence through which, the answers and kind of this energy of surrender is able to then sort of germinate from the inside out, a transformation that takes place within this person's mindset first and foremost, kind of letting go of that tight grip to logic and allowing this energy of the heart to kind of seep up, moving into this space of trust. That what they've been kind of fleeing from and running from is in fact something very gentle and very beautiful. That what has really been triggered in this person is this call to change, this call to metamorphosis. That what they are fearing is in fact this unknown and better version of self than what they were operating in previously. Kind of like this energy of, before the butterfly becomes the butterfly, it is the earthbound caterpillar, just living, kind of inching its way along in this very kind of limited scope of reality. And then it goes through this process of kind of breaking down everything that it was, its world, its the way of moving through the world, in this period of cocoon, this silence and this darkness, this void, this primordial womb, in which then this new structure and this new form is born and emerges, that is aerial, that is able to be both terrestrial and aerial. So this speaks to this ascension within this person of kind of widening their scope and their perspective of this connection of love, of themselves, their role in the world, what they have imagined for their life, understanding that there's a new world of possibilities, a new way of doing things, that they can still enjoy parts and pieces of who they were, but that they're being called to become something greater, something bigger. There's a purpose in this lifetime that it's inevitable. It's something which they can't continue to play small and just kind of inching along in this comfort zone forever, that at some point change must occur. It cannot be stopped. It's very, it's relentless with this Eight of Wands, both of these Eight of Wands. That's an energy of this unstoppable force, wheels already in motion. So as much as this person is resisting, the change is taking place. It may start very subtly, and then it will kind of reverberate out into their material world. It will bring a lot of things to the forefront for this person, how they've been living their life. Decisions that they've made, belief systems that they have had, and kind of involved in that. embroiled in that is this connection, and sort of what has really sparked that almost the spark of life that has really called them, really jolted them. It's been that first alarm bell on the alarm clock, and they're the sleeper in bed who keeps hitting that snooze button, but the alarm has sounded, something has been awakened or triggered or activated within this person. This connection has done that. So while they are still in this process of kind of turning away, closing their eyes, trying to push it away, the momentum is building, change is building, and this feels very much like somebody who, at any given moment can really shift that trajectory, make that transition to focus on kind of the higher purpose of this all. So in terms of signs with the wands, we have fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Cups is water, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio, and the swords is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. So I'm going to get some messages from this person's higher self for you. Group 2, what do they want to say? Okay, and they say, I feel alone among all these people around me. So this is really speaking to that metamorphosis, that change that is taking place where, kind of this frivolity, this free-spirited lifestyle, sort of this, just focusing on the good times, on, people and circumstances and situations which maybe are not serving this person's highest good. They're starting to feel that isolation. They're starting to feel and experience that disconnect as kind of the intensity of this energy of change is taking place. Their higher self is really calling to this person strongly, is really trying to get this person to shift and to change. Energetic changes are taking place. Downloads are happening for this person. Things are subtly coming into their awareness that, in a very minute level, but piece by piece, are starting to really bring that awareness to them that the way they may have been living their life or things they may have prioritized previously, that these are just, that there's something more for them, that they want something more. There's a greater possibility for them. So they also say, I need my space right now. So that talks about that energy of like that turning away, pushing this away, ignoring this, trying to ignore the signs, hit that snooze button on this connection, that this is somebody who's really very much trapped in the ego, in the mind space right now, in the comfort zone of what they have built for themselves, very much resisting this call to action, this call to change. And they also say, I have considered leaving it all behind and heading straight to you, but I don't know if I can handle the consequences. So that's speaking about this subtle awareness that is taking place, that slowly this person is starting to reconsider things, starting to consider different aspects of this connection, the possibility of what if. But it's something that they're still very much clinging to, the reality that they've built for themselves. A lifestyle, people, maybe even a friend circle, people that they grew up with, people that they've, long been entrenched with. And although they're almost feeling like a stranger, starting to feel like a stranger amongst those who are so familiar to them, they're not at that point yet of really being able to step away from that. But it is something that, they are starting to consider, that something needs to change, something needs to shift. And they also say, I need you in my life. So that is part of that awareness that is coming to the forefront of this person, that what might have been very triggering for them before, about this kind of vibration that you hold, or that is really inspired within this person through this connection. And they may have seen that as kind of threatening to their way of life, or what they had built for themselves or had come to expect for themselves. They're starting to see that as much as kind of the disparity is being established between what used to resonate and who they are becoming, they're feeling very compelled towards you, in your direction, in the direction of that vibration, of that something else, that kind of that more kind of aerial lifestyle, that sort of, or like higher level of being, that higher love, which kind of exceeds the vibration and the energy exchange between people and circumstances and things that are currently in their life. So I'm going to get a few more messages for you, group 2. Let's see, what does this person want to say? Okay, and they say, I miss being intimate with you. So again, that energy of longing, missing that closeness, still feeling your energy despite this resistance that they are in, and kind of missing the times before they were triggered, when everything was so new, and it was kind of like this introductory sort of like warm and inviting feeling, an invitation to experience sanctuary, experience something more that would have been very compelling for this person at first, but then also deeply triggering because of what that really then was asking of them. Change and transformation in all the best ways, and yet beyond what they have come to know and understand up to this point. And they also say, even though we're not together, I just can't see myself letting you go. So again, confirmation of still feeling you. Turned away from this, but not releasing this connection, very much bonded with you energetically, starting to come into this process of feeling more comfortable, recognizing again kind of that contrast between maybe the energy exchange between people and situations they are currently with versus almost this kind of akin to unconditional energy exchange between the both of you, that despite the ways they may have pushed you away in the past, that your energy is still with them. This is something that they may be very unaccustomed to with other people, that when other connections change or falling outs happen or people kind of fall away, then that's it. They don't really think of them again. They certainly don't feel them. They're not getting signs and reminders. And so something about this is, it's becoming very apparent to this person as other relationships are shifting, maybe other things are starting to kind of crumble and fall away, that, this connection, this energy is sort of standing the test of time for them. And they also say, I'm going to take action. I'm just planning the approach. So more of that energy of contemplation and just not being ready yet to let go of a mindset, of a stance, a little bit of stubborn energy here, some control issues as well, kind of wanting to have things go according to their plan and their timeline. And so somebody who is really at this point of being tasked with surrender and trusting in sort of a divine plan, taking an assertive role, but at the same time, not holding themselves back from action out of almost an over planning, an over strategizing, that at some point action needs to be taken. That's also that energy of that unstoppable force with the Eight of Wands, that this person at some point may be just kind of thrust out of that planning stage into action. You could have a chance meeting with this person. They could run into you. Things, some kind of a dramatic sort of shift or upgrade, download, kind of this spiritual awakening, dark night of the soul. These very dramatic events could occur for this person where they are kind of forced to look at things. They are forced to address that elephant in the room. They are forced to explore the truth of their heart and to really make that known. And they also say, I've thought about living together. So that confirms that, kind of in the back of their mind, slowly they're side-eyeing this idea of, what if they chose to do something different? What if instead of running from this connection, they ran toward this connection? Instead of pushing this away and fearing change, what if they allowed change to kind of move them into a better and more amazing version of self than they could have ever imagined up to this point? So I'm going to get some guidance for you, group 2, about this situation. Okay, and we have relationship. Your primary relationship is with yourself and God. Every other relationship follows from there. To attract, heal, or balance a relationship, then snuggle more closely with your loving Creator. As you feel safe and loved within, so your other relationships bloom and prosper. So this is some wonderful guidance here to continue on this healing and ascension journey that you are on. Continue to seek communion with your higher self, with your guides, with your spirit team. Recognize the signs that you are getting, that Creator, God, Goddess, Spirit, Source, whatever you resonate with, the kind of the nuggets or the clues that they are giving you as far as directions to take on your path. This person definitely, they're in this process of kind of being shaken awake, being made aware of changes and shifts that need to occur. And so all you really need to do is just continue to be yourself, continue to be that beacon, that light that this person is, becoming increasingly comfortable with being aware of. That resistance is kind of being chipped away layer by layer. And it's something to where, direct action on your part, the most direct action you need to take is just to continue to love yourself, to continue to, show by example, to trust in the signs that you're getting, trust in the nudges that you're getting, trust in what's being brought to the surface for you for healing and transcendence. And you can lead by example on really that journey of metamorphosis, of self-awareness, stepping into that best version of self, which this person can definitely detect, and it can be used as an inspiration to them, either energetically as they are kind of feeling that, feeling those shifts and those elevations from you energetically, or for some of you, this is someone who, is able to see you in the material world, or even that energy of side-eyeing. They may be kind of, peeking in on you, checking in on you every once in a while, looking you up on social media, kind of from behind the scenes, from behind this mask, just to, kind of see what you're up to. They may present this exterior of being disinterested, not feeling this, not interested at all in it, but secretly they're doing a little digging, they're doing a little exploring. There's still some curiosity that is piqued. And the more work you do on yourself, it's going to signal, it's going to make that alarm bell that, is connected between the both of you. It's going to make it ring even stronger. This person's going to feel even more drawn to kind of move in your direction energetically, to kind of emulate the changes that are taking place within you. And so again, that's kind of the best thing you can do for yourself and for them by default also at this point in time. So I'm going to get one of these Archangel Michael cards for you, group 2. Okay, so we have self-respect. Dear God and angels, thank you for helping me see myself as you see me, through the eyes of love. Thank you for honoring and respecting me. Please guide me to do the same for myself and grant me the courage to speak up on my own behalf. I ask for your protection in all of my relationships so that I am surrounded by loving and kind people. So this is a beautiful message, again, encouraging just that self-love journey, infusing yourself with the type of vibration that you hope to experience from others, continuing to follow the signs and guidance about things that are no longer resonating with you, lifestyle changes you may need to make, maybe some kind of toxic or codependent relationships you have in your life, friendship, family, even coworkers, even to some degree if you're very tied to this energy of waiting and kind of wishing and wanting different results for this person, wanting them to move, wanting them to recognize you, to see you, to pay attention, seeking to kind of move beyond that, to transcend that, to kind of loosen the grip of that on your life, redirect that focus on yourself, on recognizing you are enough just as you are, and the validation of others does not dictate the truth of your worthiness. And so by doing that, you again step into that energy of receptivity, where a love that is worthy and deserving of you in the form of this person or another person is able to magnetize to you. But this can also serve as an energetic beacon to this person, and a literal example if they are seeing you and watching these changes within your life, of really making the choice to participate in relationships that are reciprocal, that are healthy, that are uplifting, to kind of move away from anything that is draining or depleting, or is really causing you to be stuck in comfort zones and limiting you from experiencing and living your best life. So I'm going to close this reading for you, group 2, with some initials. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Okay, so we have S, L, V, X, O, I, Q, E, N, and Z. So those are your messages, group 2. I hope they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the video. If you like the reading, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 3. You chose the orange calcite. And I apologize about the noise. The neighbor's lawn care crew is out in their yard right now, so hopefully you can hear this reading okay over that noise. So I'm going to start by taking a look at the energies of then. How was this person feeling about you previously? What were their thoughts and feelings about you and the connection for Group 3? Okay, so we have fire. Reckless actions lead to conflict. So this person could have definitely been very overwhelmed by the intensity of this connection, the emotions that they were feeling. This is tying in for me with the energy of a Kundalini awakening. So maybe the intensity of that kind of frightened this person. Very much something that was outside of their ordinary experience of relationships, of what is possible in relationships. Feeling very compelled and drawn toward you and toward that sensation, but also feeling a sense of being out of control or losing control over themselves, over their emotions, over even physical sensations within them, to where they're feeling it, this draw and this drive towards you in a very palpable level that could have been very confusing for this person. A lot of activation of the chakras as well, centers of their energetic body that they may not have been aware of previously, but all of a sudden then these things are coming online. And so this almost speaks to an expansion of this person's perception of who they are as it kind of morphs out into more subtle realms, kind of a widening of their perception of their identity in this lifetime. And we also have the Knight, triumph over adversity. So there's a sense that they were feeling very compelled to move towards you, to maybe free themselves from some kind of situation, some kind of relationship that they were in. Maybe this almost this energy of like a savior complex, wanting to kind of move in and rescue you, or this fear of kind of a codependent relationship ensuing, where you would put too many of your hopes and dreams onto this person to kind of rescue you from some kind of circumstances, be the kind of the answer to some of your difficulties, that there would be too much expected of this person as well, kind of moving into this energy of gallantry and kind of integrity that maybe they were not prepared to do. They didn't feel very equipped. They weren't sure at how successful they would be at these endeavors. A fear also of disappointment and loss. Almost also this energy of kind of some fears being triggered. This imagery of almost the knight fighting the dragon. The dragon being almost symbolic of kind of these fears and shadows and limitations within the psyche. So a lot of things being triggered and really coming up, maybe sparked by this Kundalini awakening. These things being activated, kind of this residual trauma and wounding that they had been holding on to, really coming to the surface, to be cleared, to be addressed, maybe some long-standing kind of wounds as far as love is concerned, maybe some kind of unhealed things as far as other codependent relationships they had been in previously that really were kind of sparked for this person, this fear about, if they gave into this desire, gave into this connection, what would that turn into? Not wanting to kind of enter into those same cycles or patterns with another person. And we also have the King, authority and diplomacy. So this person was they really felt called to step into the best version of self. This is somebody who, was able to really recognize kind of them like a future version of self. Somebody who had overcome a lot of adversity in their life, who had overcome a lot of obstacles. And this may have been a very daunting task for this person, very overwhelming for this person. A perspective of themselves that they were not aware of, that they had never imagined, that was not part of their goals and dreams for themselves. almost like kind of fearing this responsibility and this power that was being activated within them, this potential that was being activated in them to really take this active role in their life and to make these changes, to move through limitations within themselves. This can also speak to somebody who, you know, felt very much respected by you, felt that you very much, admired them and respected who they are, and perhaps almost had an unrealistic expectation of who they are. You were seeing this person as a version of themselves that they themselves did not feel equipped to be. There's a sense of expectation here that maybe they felt they couldn't meet your expectations or inevitably would let you down, that this was a lot of responsibility. This was a lot that was being asked of this person in terms of this relationship, in terms of maybe some things you both had talked about in terms of goals and dreams. And it sounded very nice to talk about, but then in practice, in practicality, what was necessary to get to that point, it was more than this person felt equipped to really do at that point in time. So on this card here, and he's holding up his hand, this could really, this person kind of trying to push away or resist that call to transformation, to transcending obstacles, to kind of overcoming some odds that may have stood between the both of you, and making this connection a reality, or kind of moving this connection beyond sort of this physical chemistry, this tangible attraction, this very lustful energy, and to really stepping it up into something very solid and lasting, that what may have stood in the way of that becoming a reality was a little more than this person was equipped and able to deal with at the time. And so it could have, really caused them to try to put in some resistance, to want to slow down the intensity of this connection or the feelings and sensations that were coming up for and through them. So let me take a look at some tarot now to get some clarification for you. Group 3. What were this person's previous kind of thoughts and feelings about you and the connection? Okay, so we have the Four of Swords, rest. So this is something where, again, really being compelled, called to transform, to step into this best version of self, or being called to transform the dynamic between the both of you. It was something that, definitely overwhelmed this person, something where they just really wanted to slow that pace down. They really wanted to kind of take some time to digest this, a need to kind of move away from things and to, have some time to really process this, not feeling equipped and ready, this fear of almost failure or disappointment as well, this fear of defeat, not being certain that they could be everything that you would expect them to be. And we also have the Knight of Wands. So this is definitely an energy of chemistry and of attraction, this desire that they have for you, feeling very compelled to you, very activated by you in their energy centers, this Kundalini awakening, this desire for closeness, for nearness, but drawn to this image of the fox on this card here. And this is kind of bringing up these almost this energy of deceit, where maybe this person was feeling that you were seeing them in a way that wasn't exactly accurate, that you maybe had some unrealistic hopes about who they are or who they could become, or that some level of disappointment would ensue, and you would feel very tricked, very deceived, that this person may have put on a very confident exterior that would have been masking some kind of deep feelings of inadequacy within them, a sense of this person maybe not really presenting the authentic version of self, and this fear that that's what you have fallen in love with, that's what you are really drawn to, and sort of this fear of needing to maintain that mask, to keep that facade up, and it just being almost too great of a project to sustain long term. And we also have the Two of Pentacles, challenge. So this is really speaking to this struggle, this balance between who they are and who they could see themselves becoming. A struggle between the head and the heart, feeling very compelled, very magnetized to you, but then kind of the logical mind, the ego mind really kicking in and really kind of bringing up all these fears, these narratives about maybe a fear of failure, a fear of not meeting your expectations, not having what it takes to overcome the challenges or obstacles that may have been perceived or were actually standing in the way of turning this connection into something solid and lasting. And we also have the Wheel of Fortune. So this can definitely be the energy of right person, wrong time. This desire that this person had to really change the circumstances between the both of you, to experience something different than, you know, what you maybe, because of your circumstances, what you were, kind of the parameters of the relationship. If there were other connections in place, this desire to kind of move beyond those things, to maybe close out relationships. But then also this feeling of that the time just wasn't right for the both of you. The timing wasn't right. There were other things standing in the way, other things, other cycles that needed to play out first, or that needed to be really sussed out and determined if they are, you know, worth salvaging, or if they needed to kind of be moved beyond. So this could be something where a breakup was needed, or, you know, a divorce, some kind of a process that needed to happen to where, although they definitely could imagine this future self, imagine themselves taking assertive and decisive action to cut through obstacles, to follow their heart and do the right thing. There's this sense of being beholden to forces greater than themselves, that the time just wasn't right for the both of you. The timing was off, and that it's something where this person felt kind of limited in what they could do to alter that, kind of just needing to wait, other circumstances having to play out or to come to a place of completion before the story between the both of you would really have this solid chance to kind of evolve and move beyond just kind of this initial or very chemically based, attraction based energy, this very compelling and magnetizing and intense energy, this bond between the both of you, the desire for something more, but needing to allow that energy to kind of organically or in its own time carry you both beyond circumstances that were standing in the way of kind of exploring this, turning the page, writing a new story between the both of you or in your lives in general. So now I'm going to take a look at the energy of now. How have this person's feelings and thoughts about you changed? Are they the same? Are they still kind of lingering in this energy of, you know, feeling very drawn, not being very confident, not feeling it's the right time yet? What has changed, if anything? Okay, so we have the beauty way of the Navajo. So this imagery here of this person, you know, with their eyes closed and their hands in prayer, this speaks to somebody who is in this process of surrendering to divine timing, maybe even praying for guidance or signs about steps to take, what direction to go, what path to choose. This butterfly here speaks to, you know, this transformation, this metamorphosis. I'm drawn to the coloring on this of black and white, very much this either or. This person currently or previously only seeing one of two options, either yes or no, this or that. But they seem to be in this process of kind of, from the higher self level even, evolving beyond that to see a wider range of possibilities and potential for the both of you in this connection and what's possible for themselves. Where they may have seen a wall, they are now starting to recognize the ability to create a window or a door through these circumstances. They're starting to recognize that the power lies in their hands to change these circumstances. This could be somebody who is also really praying or asking for guidance and confidence to make the changes necessary to step out of maybe situations or relationships that don't resonate with them, mindsets that are kind of lacking or limiting. To move beyond what, you know, the dynamic between you in the past, which, you know, may have had a lot of potential, a lot of beauty there, but was kind of limited in terms of what the experience was, to step more into this vibrance, the vibrance of the experience, allowing that energy to infuse them and infuse you and infuse one another, the beauty of this connection. So we also have, in each other we find ourselves. So this is really talking about, you know, this connectedness that this person feels with you. Really taking the time to explore this, recognizing the challenges, not as insurmountable, but just as something which may require some creative planning, some creative strategizing, a lot of different possibilities of how this can play out. It feels like something to where, you know, they're starting to recognize different pathways that are opening up for themselves. This is somebody who is also opening up and expanding their awareness of self. This could be somebody who is diving into and exploring, you know, spiritual concepts. You've got kind of the chakra rainbow up here. So somebody who could be in the process of doing some healing, some energy healing, maybe getting some Reiki healing, or somebody who is, you know, just in this process of really seeking to understand what has been activated within them, this Kundalini awakening, this awareness of themselves as kind of a multi-layer, multi-dimensional being. Some cycles in this person coming to a close, them sort of moving beyond these things, even a sense of feeling stuck, beholden to circumstances outside of themselves, or this perception of things just not being the right time, that the timing may be getting better for this person as they are perceiving it, with these moon phases kind of in the background of this card, that it is not so much at the forefront of this person's attention. It is not so glaring and in their face as it once was. They're starting to really transcend beyond that, kind of this internal journey within self, feeling this connectedness, and perhaps also recognizing an aspect of a past life connection between the both of you, some entwined aspect between your souls. You could be twin flames with this person. This could be a soulmate, something to where they are recognizing that through this connection and through you, they understand something greater about themselves as well. And we also have medicine horse, progress on the path. So this is again speaking to that wheel turning, something shifting within this person's mindset of what they believe is possible for themselves and in this connection. Some other things may be closing out in this person's life, or they are recognizing a way forward to disentangle themselves from that. The horse is a symbol of freedom. So this speaks to somebody really making the effort to at least imagine that freedom is possible, freedom from constraints, constrictions in a mindset or a belief system or other circumstances that have held the two of you back in the past. They're in this process of really embodying that, calling that into themselves, desiring that freedom, and praying for guidance and a way forward to be shown to kind of move beyond obstacles with that energy of the night to, you know, overcome that adversity. So I'm going to get some tarot to clarify. Oh, and in terms of signs, because I forgot to do that with these tarot right here. With the swords, we have air energy, which is Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. The wands is fire, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Pentacles is earth, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. And the wheel of fortune for me as a reader is mutable energy, Pisces, Gemini, Virgo, and Sagittarius. So I'm going to get some tarot to clarify the mindset that this person is in now. How are they thinking about you and the connection now? What has changed for this person? Okay, so we have the Three of Pentacles. So this is somebody who is really recognizing the ability to build something out of this, where they may have again seen kind of a wall or an obstacle. This is somebody who is in the process of crafting a door or a window, a way through these challenges. Some work that this person may be putting in on themselves in terms of healing some issues within themselves, some fears within themselves, maybe fears of kind of lingering from some codependent relationships, toxic relationships they were involved in the past, and this fear of repeating those same cycles. Somebody who really has this desire to, you know, put in this work, to do what it takes to really give this connection a chance, to really seize upon the opportunity, the chemistry, the connection between the both of you, to make something very beautiful out of that in the material world. And we've also got the Six of Wands, so this is definitely a card of victory and progress. So somebody who is starting to feel a little more optimistic about what is possible. Some work that they may have done on themselves, or something that has really opened up and shifted within this person's perspective and what is possible. That has gone very far in terms of the long-term potential that they are imagining for this connection. Where it may have seemed hopeless before, they are starting to see that these are not in fact insurmountable obstacles, but with, you know, dedicated work and effort and skill and some practice over time, it is possible to gain some footing here and to create some different circumstances for you. And we also have the Three of Wands. So this is really talking about this desire for closeness. This person may be really taking the time to imagine this beautiful future with you, this coming together with you. This energy of nostalgia as well for the initial spark, the initial connection, the potential that was there, the seed of possibility that they felt very blocked from, or that was kind of outside of their realm of reach. Any kind of feelings of inadequacy, feeling that they can't be what you need or what you expect, or any kind of fear that they would, you know, disappoint you, or some kind of ruse would be uncovered, that the more you get to know them, it would, you know, almost be this energy of letdown, that they weren't as wonderful as you may have thought that they were. All of that, this person is in this process of really transcending that, really seeking to balance these masculine and feminine polarities within self, kind of enter into this energy of the beginner's mind, imagining the possibilities of what can grow and blossom out of this connection, as opposed to focusing on, you know, the disappointments and the potential of loss in this connection. And we also have the Two of Swords. So this is really speaking to this person, again, kind of mastering these fears, taking control and cutting away from anything that has really been holding them back, that has been blocking them. I feel mostly within the mindset. There may be actual, you know, physical obstacles separating you. There could be a physical distance or other relationships in place, but something is really shifting within this person's perspective, as far as these things are not just they are not unconquerable, that these aspects are something that they're starting to get some self-mastery from. They're starting to take the upper hand in these matters, to not allow themselves to just remain entrenched and stuck in a certain way of being, but opening up to the possibility, the receptiveness that something can shift, something can grow, something really wonderful can occur from even just shifting the mindset to the possibility of what if, away from the perspective of hopelessness that they may have been in previously. So in terms of signs, with the Pentacles, we have Earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. With the Wands, we have fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And Swords is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. So I'm going to get some messages from this person's higher self for you, Group 3. What do they want to say? Okay, and they say, I was ready to give us a chance for real this time, but then something happened. So this can speak to somebody who has put a lot of thought into transcending these obstacles, who has taken steps towards this, towards you, towards a reconciliation or a renewal, taking a chance in this situation, but it may not have been just the right time yet. There may have been some other things which kind of came up, which sort of limited them. This could even be fears within themselves, kind of stopping right at the brink of taking action, right at the brink of creating that door or window through a wall of obstacle. And they also say, you have greatly impacted my life. So this ties in with that energy of awakening, a Kundalini awakening that this person may have experienced, kind of this expansion of their perspective of themselves as a multi-layer, multi-dimensional being, their perception of what is possible in love, what is possible in their life in general, their hopes and dreams, what they want for themselves. you've really impacted and caused this person to want to change, to take an assertive role in their life in overcoming some challenges or obstacles or situations standing in the way between the both of you as well, which may have seemed hopeless. And this also is this energy of rising up into that best version of self, really seeking to become that which they imagine themselves to be, kind of this very ennobled person, this very assertive person, this confident person who is able to face challenges and overcome them, any deficiencies that they may have felt in that capacity. They are really in this process of moving through that fear. And with this energy also of Three of Pentacles, really understanding that, sometimes it can be kind of a wobbly journey to getting to that place of perfection and confidence, but at least putting in that effort and trying with the knowledge that they won't always be successful, but the effort is what is important. And they also say, when I said I didn't love you, that was a lie. So they definitely could have pushed this connection away in the past, pushed you away in the past, again, out of this fear of maybe not being good enough, not meeting your expectations, not, some kind of disappointment down the road, or seeking to avoid the potential of, another kind of codependent relationship, another series of toxic patterns that they have been in that for whatever reason that was triggered within them. They didn't feel ready maybe to embark on love again, or because of the complications that they seem to see standing between the both of you, they really kind of shut down, shut off their heart, told you that they didn't feel anything, when in fact it was quite the opposite. They felt a great degree, a very powerful force awakened within them, a very powerful new perspective of who they are. And a lot of this could have also come from a place of just being very overwhelmed by these sensations, the things which were activated, chakras which were activated, ways in which they were able to perceive their being and their avatar beyond just the physical self and kind of the intellectual self, but understanding and starting to perceive the energetic layers of who they are, the timelessness of who they are. And so this person really may have needed to kind of put up their hand to it, kind of push it away a little bit in order to take the time to really digest all of this, to understand what that means for them, what that means, for reality, for life in general. And they also say, I check on you every chance I get. So this person could definitely be looking you up on social media, asking people about you, energetically checking up on you, thinking about you, daydreaming about you, this energy of kind of nostalgia and reflection, praying about this connection, praying for a way forward to be shown to them. There's a lot of attraction and desire that this person has for you. And it feels that whatever resistance they may have displayed in the past really stemmed from a place of inadequacy or a fear of letting down your hopes and expectations, perhaps feeling that, you saw the best in them, but they weren't able to really see that in themselves. And so rather than seek to, embody that, to become that, they may have just kind of run or almost allowed themselves to sit in some kind of defeat that they had a lot of work to do to become that, to maintain that, or a lack of confidence that was even possible. But despite all of that, they're still feeling this. They're feeling this connection, and they're very much interested in kind of moving to a better place between the both of you, to stepping into that version of themselves that they could see through your eyes. So let me get a few more messages for you, group 3. All right, and they say, I have inner childhood wounds. So this can really talk about that heartbreak, that fear of failure, fear of not being enough, maybe fear of some codependency or toxic relationships that they witnessed growing up, or maybe some experiences in love from earlier in their life that were really just operating as kind of a barrier of fear to taking a chance on this connection in the past. And they also say, I'm situating this karmic situation. So this can talk about those obstacles, those walls, those barriers, those blockages that this person is really in this process of forging a way through, finding a way around, closing out these cycles. This can tie into when they, were ready to kind of move toward this connection, towards you, but something may have come up, some other kind of situation or a relationship in their life that, you know, revealed itself to be kind of toxic or limiting or defeating or no longer in resonance, things that needed to clear away, whether that's relationships with people, family, romantic, friends, coworkers, maybe a lifestyle, a job choice, something that when they made that decision to kind of move forward, to press forward beyond that veil of fear that was holding them back, then there were other circumstances which presented themselves that needed to be kind of cleared away and moved away from, so that, you know, this gusto, this desire, this excitement to step into that best version of self could really, you know, be mirrored in their circumstances as well, that certain things needed to be cleared away or left behind or moved away from in order to create the energetic space and kind of a lifestyle that and an environment that really matched up with that higher vibration that this person is ascending into. And they also say, you gave me that spark. So that confirms that Kundalini awakening, that activation which has occurred within this person, this greater awareness of who they are, sensations of their being outside of the corporeal self and kind of the intellectual and emotional self. And they also say, just wait on me. Please don't give up on me. So this person really is wanting to work their way back towards you. Timing could still be a factor, divine timing. There could still be circumstances and cycles which need to be closed out, but they are working on this. So they're hoping that your heart will still be open. You will still be available and ready and excited to kind of step into that future that you two may have talked about, to really explore this connection. They're hoping that you feel this spark, this tie in the same way that they do, that the desire is still there, and that when they, you know, have kind of completed some of these other things, wrapped some of these other things up in their life, stepped into that next chapter, they're hoping that, you know, the future for the both of you can be brighter than your past together has been, that any potential that was, you know, acted upon only in a limited fashion or was unable to be acted upon, again, because of maybe other relationships, other outside circumstances that were, you know, kind of a barrier or obstacle to the two of you coming together. This person is hoping that when those other things clear away or kind of remedy or resolve themselves, that you will be open to a fresh start with them. So I'm going to get some guidance for you, group 3, about this situation. Okay, so we have family. This situation is rooted in an emotional experience with a family member, which we can help you to understand and heal. In your mind and heart, surround this person, yourself, and the experience with calming blue light and many angels. Be open to the gifts within the situation and allow yourself to feel peace. So this can be a confirmation of some of those karmic situations that this person is needing to kind of wrap up or move away from. Maybe some kind of family dynamic with their family of origin, something, even a mindset from the environment in which they grew up in, kind of this fear of codependency, fear of loss of love, that this person is having to, it's presenting themselves almost as like the dragon of shadow, which they are being called to slay, to transcend, to really overcome, to move beyond. This can also speak to some kind of a marriage or some kind of another relationship, even involving children, that is needing to come to a close. Maybe this person is in the process of getting a separation, getting a divorce, working on some things with custody, with living situations, having to relocate, restructure. This can even involve the perceptions that their family has of who they are, and maybe who would be an ideal candidate for a partner for this person. And you might be very much outside of this box, kind of a wild card energy. And this person in the past may have allowed fear of kind of being judged or ostracized by their family for their choice in love. They may have allowed that to really hold them back from exploring this and acting upon this connection. But you're being guided to know that this person is transcending that. They're transcending that mindset, that fear of being judged, or the obstacles that other people are presenting in actuality or in theory to this person at this time. And you're also being guided as well to kind of use this time to your advantage to sort of look into some of your own ideas about what family and commitment and marriage mean to you, any ways in which your family of origin or the opinions that your family has had of you, of who you should be, the type of person you should be with, to seek to heal these things, to step more into a place of authenticity, search within, pray, really seek to come to know yourself and understand yourself, what resonates with you beyond what resonates for other people's perception of what is good for you. And anything in terms of a marriage, some kind of a relationship, anything like that that you need to work on your angle as well. This can be a confirmation of the both of you kind of seeking to move through these things, taking into account that sometimes these things take time. This is not just an immediate solution, especially if there's a marriage or children involved, that it can be kind of a gradual process, sometimes even a waiting game, waiting for paperwork to go through or compromise to be reached. And so any sense of kind of that this is taking a really long time, you're being guided to kind of move into that space of trust that things will play out, the wheel is in motion, to keep that very hopeful and positive outlook that resolution will happen, but that it just might be on a timetable that is a little different from your expectations. So I'm going to get an Archangel Michael card for you, group 3. Okay, and we have Shield Yourself. Archangel Michael, I ask you to protect me, my loved ones, my vehicle, and my home with your powerful shield. Surround us in your purple light, which allows only pure love to penetrate. Please stay with me day and night and keep my loved ones safe. So this is a beautiful confirmation that, this connection is protected, that as you both are going through this process of kind of tying up some loose ends, closing out some cycles, it can be very scary to face these fears and to really speak your truth, especially if, kind of a fear of letting other people down or kind of moving away from the expectation of what other people have for you. But you're being guided to know that you are safe through all of this, you are protected. If you're praying for guidance and you're praying for protection, that can definitely help you give you that little extra boost of confidence as you are having maybe some difficult conversations with people. And the most important thing is that you really search within and act from a place of integrity, from a place of speaking your truth, of following your heart and really pursuing that, answering the call of your soul. And if you're acting from that space, then ultimately it's really for your highest good. And so any of these fears, the fears of kind of backlash of what other people will say, what other people will think, these are all just illusions, and it's something which it may take some time and some strength to kind of transcend these things, but the waters will settle. People will calm down, or you'll just be able to disconnect yourself from those opinions of other people, because really the most important opinion is what you think of yourself, what others perceive of us and for us. That is based out of their perception and is usually not entirely accurate for what is for our highest good and in resonance with us. Really, every individual is tasked to know themselves, to find that truth within themselves, and to act confidently in bringing that into their reality for themselves. This is something which the guidance and the ultimate opinion of what is best for you can only come from you. So take the time that you need to really introspect, get in contact with your higher self, seek to explore who you are, separate yourself from the perceptions and the illusions that have been placed upon you by others, and really seek to kind of harvest and cultivate that truth from within you, to embody that in slow and meaningful ways in your life, so that gradually you can kind of step away from anything that no longer resonates, anything that's not in alignment with your values or what you want for yourself or your truth. And you can begin to kind of reconstruct your life, forge a life for yourself that is more in alignment with your purpose in this lifetime, with what really sets your soul on fire and kind of the call of your heart and soul. And so it feels like you and this person are very much on these parallel paths of kind of closing out some cycles, moving beyond some things and stepping more into this authenticity and truth. And you're very much guided and protected. And this connection and this love is very much guided and protected through this process of kind of tying up those loose ends, closing some things out in order to create kind of the optimal circumstances for success in the future. So I'm going to close this reading for you, group 3, with some initials. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it can spell something out, just whatever resonates. Okay, so we have E, F, P, L, C, A, M, Q, B, Z, U, W, and T. So those are your messages, group 3. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the video. If you like the reading, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.